This is Heavy Conversation with Bruce and Jody, a podcast where we talk about being a big guy in today's world. I'm Bruce. And I'm Jody. Here we go.
All right, here we go.
Hey, Bruce.
Jody, hello.
How's it going?
It's good. It's good.
Woo.
You know, I mentioned last week that I had shaved my head,
Mm-hmm.
and the first day was difficult to take. It was a very different look for me. I've done it before, but it had been a long time.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't sure about it. But now that it's been a couple weeks, I love it.
Oh, nice.
The convenience is wonderful.
Yep.
The only thing that I'm not sure if I'm going to love is that it grows pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah.
And starts to get out of control. So
Yeah.
I'm like, am I going to have to go to the barber more often? I mean, it costs less to get your head buzzed.
Mm-hmm.
But is that something I'm going to have to get used to? And the answer is probably.
So are you going just like the like no guard short, or are you going like completely just skin?
So it's not completely not like Mr. Clean shiny.
Yeah.
There's a small amount of hair. I want to say that it was like a 0.5 guard.
Okay. Because I've seen different products to like go completely.
Oh yeah.
Shave your head thing. There's like a little thing. I don't know what it is, but
a company sent me this thing years ago. They sent it over for a Chubster review that did not end up happening because I wasn't willing to shave my head.
Yep. That's a commitment. Yeah.
But it was like a Zamboni machine that, and they called it. It was something like the head Zamboni or something like that. Yeah. And it would fit in your hand, and it had little wheels. It had wheels.
Yeah,
on it.
I think okay.
And you'd roll this thing over your head to shave it.
Mm-hmm.
And I considered it, and then decided not to.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't be able to use that product either because I have a couple moles on my head.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
Yep.
That's the thing. I'd rather leave it to professionals than try to do that myself. Because I did consider that. I was like, well, I mean, what if I just shaved it myself? No, that's not going to work. It's not going to look right. You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. But
I'm glad that it's growing on you.
It is. And I think that I will probably continue. I'll keep it short through the summer. I think. You know, it just feels like, why not?
Yeah. I have an appointment with my barber on Friday, so it's overdue, but
it's always nice to go in. I always feel like it's good to get in there, have that experience, be able to sit down and just let them kind of do their thing.
Yep. Try not to fall asleep.
Yes,
that's my problem. I have to
Yeah.
nod off. I'm like, oh.
It took me a long time to find a good barber, like somebody that I really wanted to go to that got it, that was easy to talk to. I don't know about you, but for me, sometimes like sitting there, it can feel awkward, like having to make conversation and small talk.
Yep.
I don't always love that.
Yeah, I love my current barber. Shout out to Bobby Rothschild at Throne Barbers here in Portland, up on North Williams.
Nice.
He's really good. But also it's like, I told him early on that I'm not a big small talk. I don't want to talk during this whole thing.
Sure.
And I don't want you to feel pressure that you need to.
Right.
And he's like, that's great. That's cool.
Fair
like
enough.
we do, hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
That little bit at the beginning. And then I'm like, okay, done now.
Right.
I don't say that, but it's like, okay, I'm good.
You want it to flow, you want it to not, you don't want it to feel forced.
Yeah.
And
I don't want to try to listen to people talk about sports or like there's, there are people around you who are talking about stuff. And sometimes I literally giggle and laugh at the stupid, I'm like,
right.
What did you just say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
My barber,
stay quiet over here.
Shout out to Ian at Manley and Sons here in Portland, Oregon. He's awesome. We always have something to talk about, which is nice. So there's always something with music or conversation or beer.
Yeah.
He too is a beer enthusiast, so
nice.
He's given us some recommendations that
have
ended up coming into the show. So it's nice to have somebody you can just kind of talk to and not feel uncomfortable. And that's
I think for me it's I guess I'm like working retail with people, I have to make those conversation, like that feels like work to me. Like, I mean, it doesn't, like when I'm doing it, like this is just my job. But when I'm not working, I don't want to feel forced to have a conversation with you ask all these questions. Like, I don't
it feels
want
fake.
to.
And it's like this thing that, it feels fake, and it's just like this thing that doesn't feel right. And it always feels icky, and it feels weird to me. So that's difficult.
Yeah.
And I've got this thing where I'm sure lots and lots of people are like this. If you have interactions with people, if something doesn't quite go right, you replay it in your head over and over and over.
Oh, yeah.
It's the worst.
I'm like, I'm just here to get my hair cut, and that's it. I don't want to, don't mess up that.
Right.
You're good. You know how, because my hair is a little complicated to cut, and it takes a while to get through a couple awkward maybe things or whatever.
Sure.
I don't want to have to go to someone new.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'd rather just not talk about stuff. Like, I feel like the few conversations we've had, I don't think there will be any sort of weird, ideological differences or anything. Like, it'll be fine. But I don't want him to say some stupid shit and then I can't go back there.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's, I'm like, okay, I guess I cannot get my hair cut by that person because I can't support that.
Yeah. I think
I don't know that ignorance is bliss. I don't know that that's a good idea either. But yes.
I get it. There's a certain point where you just need to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think a lot of it for me is just anxiety. And like I said, saying the wrong thing or saying something that having an interaction that doesn't quite work the way you wanted that you want it to. For example, I won't name any names or whatever. We'll keep this general and light. But I was doing a photo shoot a few years ago and was talking about something, and there was a specific saying that I knew the way that you properly say it, but a lot of people would say it in this incorrect way, and I said it that way because I was just kind of having this conversation
in the incorrect way.
Yes, and I realized when I said it that they thought I didn't know the actual saying, and there was nothing I could do at that point. You can't really stop and be like, oh no, I'm just saying this, because it just would have been this whole.
No, I want to know what you said.
And so this lives rent free in my head.
Oh, you replay that often?
I do. Oh. I do. I have those kind of interactions.
Every time you have a photo shoot now, you're like, don't say anything stupid.
I wish it were. Yes. So it definitely does that. But this thing.
Remember that time you said that thing?
Totally.
Don't do that again.
I always have that kind of stuff where it just comes back to me, or I'll just be somewhere, doing something that has nothing to do with any of that. And it'll come to me and it's like, do you remember the time that you said that?
Yeah.
And they thought you were an idiot?
Thanks, inner voice, inner monologue.
Yes, and your inner voice always, you're the main character in your life. So it always, you always put more weight on all of those things than anybody else does.
Yeah, they've already forgotten about it.
They have. Nobody's thinking about it except for me.
Mm-hmm. How many years later? Yeah.
Yes. So I try to minimize.
You're going to have to tell me when we're done what the thing was that you said.
Yeah.
Because now I won't forget. I won't let it go.
Yeah. So, yes, I think you were actually there. You weren't there in that conversation.
But I was on set.
You were on set. Yeah.
In quotes. Whatever.
Yes. Yeah. We'll have to talk about it.
Okay. All right.
So.
Good times.
Yes.
I mean, yeah. I've been part of photo shoots too, and I'm like, because you try to talk to the model when you're doing the shoot to make them comfortable, but yes, I'm like, what did they just say?
Right. Totally. It's just
what is happening right now?
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
It's just like human interaction.
Oh,
it's
boy.
So, and I definitely find that it takes more energy now working from home, having been away from people for so long, and not, I'm getting I'm getting out there a little more, but not as much as I was in the past. And so it's always there. There's always just this anxiety. But I find that anytime I'm out and I'm doing things, I love it. I mean, it's like, it's so good to be out in the world around people, all these mundane things. There was a parade this past weekend. my soon to be 14-year-old next week.
Yes.
He was marching in it. It was the first time
Oh,
marching.
nice. Yeah.
And just being there at that
Marching band.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And he was marching, and it was one of those things where it was like, I was really proud of him. So I got weepy about the whole thing, you know.
Okay.
Just watching him kind of come down and do his thing. And that was overwhelming, but it was also just kind of like being I don't take it for granted as much as I used to, being out around people and being able to enjoy things like that you just kind of think, oh, well, it's a thing, you know. So being out and being able to do that was nice, and it just makes me think of more of like, I love it. I love being around people so much. Even like working through the anxiety and just doing the thing is worth it. Yeah. It's okay. It's worth it to be replaying these things over in your head for years and years just to have that experience of being out.
I'm like,
you're like, maybe not. Maybe not.
I mean, no.
Generally, it's good. But there are always those things.
We all have those interactions where you said something weird and you're like, wait, that's not how I meant it.
Right.
But whatever.
Yeah. And then you're like,
"'Tis life."
Yep.
And then everyone hates you.
Yes.
And you have to move. And
that's right. That's how all these end.
Yeah.
On that happy note,
yay!
I thought we could talk about some big and tall apparel news,
clothing
news style. There is
the style section.
Yes, there's a big and tall streetwear brand called 100 Brawn. They're relatively new. Streetwear brand for the big guy. You can check them out at 100brawn.com, or you can go to Instagram and look at 100 Brawn. You'll find them. They're relatively new, but they kicked things off. It looks like they've had a few different pieces on their website. But I'm looking at. I see some T-shirts. I see some sleeveless stuff.
I'm trying to pull it back up.
They did some shorts, sweatpants, some of that kind of stuff, outerwear. But they just kicked off they just released this Brawn cowboy shirt. And so it's like a shirt with like this cowboy on a bucking bronco.
Yep.
On both sides. It's got a zipper. So it looks like it's a heavier kind of shirt.
Well, it says it's like a work shirt. So I'm thinking like Dickie-esque is what I'm thinking. Because when I first saw it, I was like, that looks like a jacket.
Yes.
And then you were like, what did you say?
I said it's a shacket.
So, and I was like, wait, is shack involved?
Shacket is a thing. So in the last
short sleeve,
few years,
sleeve jacket,
shirt jacket is what it actually is. Shacket.
Shacket. Oh, shirt jacket.
Yeah. And
so, I was like short sleeve jacket.
Yeah, and so
shacket.
So this kind of looked like a short sleeve shacket.
Too many things.
Right. But
I want to hear someone with a lisp.
Yes, I actually really like it. I like the fact that they're doing something that's like different and that you're not seeing for bigger guys. That's always high on my list of things. And so being able to see something like that is cool. So yeah, you should check it out. Let's see, sizing, they go to 5X. It's XL to 5X. They're specifically doing this stuff for bigger folks. They have a few different colors for it. There's a brown and cream, which is like a dark brown collar, and then cream colored shirt. I dig the look of it. I like that workwear kind of look. I think it's interesting, kind of the stuff they're doing. You should definitely check them out. 100brawn.com. They just dropped that. I believe they do still have, looking at their website now, they do still have some of those new shirts available. They got a bunch of their other stuff. So, yeah, take a look. Take a look.
Yeah, they've got a few different items on their site, and then they're on Instagram that mostly about that. Shacket. Sorry, that's funny to me.
Shacket. Yeah, the shacket has been kind of a recent trend.
Yeah, I mean, I
last few years.
have a couple shackets, but they're long sleeve.
Yeah, right. So short sleeve shacket.
It's
I mean, without getting my hands on it, I can't quite tell. It's hard to tell, you know, how thick it is or any of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, check them out. 100 Brawn. Do you like oysters?
I haven't had a lot, but I do. Yeah, I enjoy them from time to time.
My love of seafood as I've gotten older has decreased. Like,
Really?
I don't know why. I don't know if it's just from not eating it as much or what, but when I do have it, I always enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's just like I just don't have it as much as I used to.
Yeah, I mean, I guess salmon and like stuff like that is more on my list more regularly.
Sure.
Trying to get those whatever omega fatty acid things.
The
and
good stuff. Yeah. Well,
and it's delicious.
I get a lot of it is delicious. I get a lot of very interesting pitches from PR firms and brands at Chubster. And one of them that I got was from a footwear brand.
Okay.
That said, we would like you to tune into our Zoom call as we talk about our spring, summer, fall, and early glimpse of next year's releases.
Okay.
And we would also like to send you 2 dozen oysters and a shucking kit. And
from a footwear brand.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a workwear footwear.
Was that like an incentive to be on the call or something? Okay. Like do this call, you get a gift card, but you get this oysters. Okay.
Right. So this brand is known for I mean, I guess I could say the brand. I don't have to be coy about it. They're called Extra Tough, and they make a lot of workwear kind of stuff, boots.
Okay.
They have some different like shoes and sneakers and slides and things like that, all kind of based around being waterproof, really being able to stand up to whatever you would throw at them.
Okay.
And so they had reached out and they said, hey, we want you to check out this. We want you to be on the Zoom call so we can tell you about all of our stuff. And we're going to teach you how to shuck oysters.
Okay.
Our friends
I've never done that before.
Island Creek Oysters are going to send over 2 dozen oysters. I'm like,
Island Creek oysters?
Why not? I've never shucked an oyster before in my life. And so the day before the event, UPS showed up with a box of oysters that I had to find a place to fit in my fridge.
Yep.
And I got them in there, and then the next day it was time to open it up, and it was amazing. The packaging for this whole thing was amazing. It was like they packaged it and kept it cold with, I guess it wasn't dry ice, but it was some other sort of thing that keeps that keeps a specific temperature. And they had this device that was in there. It was almost like this pop-up, like this puff sticker kind of thing that you could look at, and it showed a bunch of different things, and it had one area that said, as long as this is white, these are good to eat. Okay.
I know. I was like, oh, geez.
Yeah, and this was like, I expected it to be a little pungent, a little seafoody, none of that. None of that at all. It was amazing. And so I get all the stuff out. I get a giant tray to put all the oysters on, and I toss them all on the table and proceed to go through the Zoom call. And, they talk about their new collection. There are some things in there that I think we'll probably end up taking a closer look at.
Sure.
They offer some wide options.
Nice.
So I can show you a picture. And we'll put something up so you can see this as well. But
sure.
Put them all.
Nice. Yep. You got to have some different sauces.
Had to have the sauces. And so the shucking kit was like this specific kind of knife and gloves that you wear.
I was going to say, you have to wear because I know that, it's really dangerous.
Yeah. So
you get like this huge knife thing, don't you?
Totally.
To cut them open.
Yeah. And so the knife is not, it's less about it being sharp than just kind of being.
Yeah. Like a pry thing.
Blunt. Yeah.
And it goes right into your hand real easy though.
Yeah. And so, they talked about the shoes. And then after that, they had one of the guys from the oyster company from Island Creek talking about the oysters. And this guy knew everything about oysters. And it was, if I was told that I would be on a Zoom call about oysters, I would probably not be excited to hear about that. But this guy knew his stuff and was just
and where are they out of? Where's Island Creek?
Island Creek is in Massachusetts.
Okay.
They are in
Nice.
Duxbury.
Duxbury. Berry? I don't know.
Duxbury.
Sure.
Sorry, East Coasters who are screaming at their streaming device right now. They're in Massachusetts. We'll say that.
Okay.
Yeah, and so he talked about he was telling us all these things about oysters, and they supply oysters all over. They've got like places out here that they
nice.
supply oysters to, and he knew about like different places to fish out here and all kinds of stuff. He probably knew more about Oregon than I know about Oregon. So, so basically when you're opening them, there's like a hinge, and you have to find this hinge, and it's like a point on the shell, and you have to kind of get the knife in there. And he says you have to do kind of the lollipop test, which is basically if you can get the knife in and you can hold the knife straight up and the oyster stays on it like a lollipop, then you're in the right place. But you have to find that right place, and that's not always easy unless you're shucking oysters.
You
all
just
the time.
know, yeah, okay.
And it's very easy to think that if you put more pressure into it and you hit it harder, that you're going to get to the oyster. That doesn't work because you crack the shell or you tear up the oyster.
Mm-hmm.
I found out the hard way on a couple of them. I see why they gave us 24 because...
Yep, takes a couple.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so you really have to get it in there, and then you have to, like, you get the knife in there, and then you kind of have to go, like, you turn it so that the edges kind of go up and pry it open. And there's a whole process, and you go through this whole process. The oysters were great. They were phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
I did not partake in all of them because it was very labor intensive.
That's a lot.
And I also had a dentist appointment a few hours after that. Oh. So I was brushing and mouth washing quite a bit after that. I didn't want to go into the dentist and then be like, what the hell?
What died in your mouth?
Yeah, right. So
I'm trying to remember the last time I had oysters. It's been a while.
Oh, man, they were so good. Now I want more. Now I want more oysters. So I shout out to Extra Tough and Island Creek Oysters for a pretty cool experience.
Now you have the knife and the glove. You can just get your own and
definitely
have a shucking party.
Exactly. Yeah.
And what type of beer were you having with these oysters?
He did recommend that we have beer. I did not because I was going to the dentist after, and so I had to skip that. I did consider trying the beer that we are going to be drinking today, which this feels like a good transition into that.
That's why I was like, what kind of beer did you have?
Yes.
I want to try this beer.
Yes. So we are drinking a beer. We are drinking two beers, actually.
Yep.
We each have a different style from Best Day Brewing in Northern California. Sausalito? Yeah, Sausalito, California. And these are non-alcoholic beers. Woo-hoo. And they have a bunch of different styles. And so there's... we have a variety pack, and so we're trying. There are 3 different kinds in this variety pack. There's a hazy IPA, there's a Kolsch, and there's a West Coast IPA. Jody's bringing out the West Coast IPA. I have
the West Coast. I'm trying to see if they're on Untapped.
And if you listen to the show at all, you know that I'm a big fan of a Kolsch, so I am doing the Kolsch. Yes, they are on Untapped. So
best.
Yes, check out the Heavy Conversation beer list. It is on Untapped, and it will be a link in the show notes, so you can see what we're drinking. But I'm going to go ahead and start here with the Kolsch and give it a try. And so, non-alcoholic.
What am I doing?
Less than 0.5 alcohol per can. Whatever
per
something, very, very, very official, right? So anyway, I'm gonna try this. Like I said, I'm always all about the Kolsch, and always looking for a good one. So it's very Kolschy. Like, I don't know if you ever tried, like, back in the day before non-alcoholic beers were more popular. If you ever tried any of those, a lot of those were like pasty and like dry and had a weird,
just disgusting.
Yeah. These new ones, they've got it down, and like this one, it's like you don't miss anything. It's not like it's lacking. It I mean it's an NA, it's a near beer or whatever, but
yeah, but it still has flavor.
Yeah. They've really gotten that down.
Ooh, yeah.
And yeah, I'm super impressed. This Best Day is actually something that I would drink regularly, and broken out a few and got some in the fridge, and so it's been nice to just kind of grab those and go. And I think the fact that they're getting so much better at making really flavorful NA beers is amazing.
It'd be nice to I think we've tried the Athletic one. I've tried that one.
Yeah.
This West Coast IPA is really good. I like that.
Yeah.
It says our non-alcoholic West Coast IPA is a tribute to our backyard and its rich history of making damn good beers. Its Cascade hops are an ode to the beers that started the IPA revolution. The rich malt backbone provides ample structure to the grapefruit Cascade notes to shine.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a little hoppy, a little bitter.
Yeah.
But it's still got that citrusy. That's nice.
Yeah. Yeah. You'll have to try the hazy sometime soon. You would have had the hazy if I had looked at the cans that I was
That's fine.
putting in refrigeration.
I like the West Coast IPA as well.
But
good job, Best Day.
Yes. So Best Day Brewing, and you can check it out online and pick some up for yourself. bestdaybrewing.com.
We'll have links and stuff.
Yeah, there'll be links in the show notes. And definitely check it out. They do have other types if none of the three that we mentioned are to your liking.
Oh, yeah, they had, what was that one? Oh, man. I don't see it on here, but
I think they had like a Belgian wheat.
Yep.
Yeah. So
there was one with that fruit and something else.
Oh, is it like Uzu?
Yeah, I was like, what is that?
I know, I'm trying to remember. So Uzu ginger shandy.
That sounds good.
If you're a fan of like a summer shandy, which yes, then I would be very curious to try their shandy and see what that's like. Especially that's like a hot weather beer if there ever was one. So check them out.
Drank a lot of those back in Minnesota during the summer. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yes.
I can't remember the name of that brand. I can't find it. Anyways.
Yeah, I'm looking at their website, and so it's Uzu ginger shandy. They've got their variety 12-pack, and so that's what we're drinking from. The Kolsch. I'd put this up there. I would say that this is a really solid Kolsch, and my last few Kolsches were not NAs, and they were not so great. I've had kind of not a good run of Kolsches, so I feel like this is this is vindication for for that. So I am impressed. Light, crisp, easy drinking with a nice toasty malt character and lighter hopping. It says our combination of malts and hops create a refreshingly complex Kolsch style ale. It's crisp and clean, and it leaves you wanting another sip. It says it pairs well with sunshine, trailheads, and fish tacos. I can see that.
Oh, fish tacos.
Yeah, it's a clean drinking beer. So check it out. You'll probably hear us talking more about Best Day in the future because
I like them.
Yeah. It's good, and I am definitely appreciating the NA beers more now. So when you find a good one, give it a try.
Yeah, I am gonna definitely be ordering some of these.
Yes,
so I just want to change it up a little bit.
Yeah, and it's nice to have, and that is the thing for me. I notice is that I want the beer. But I don't necessarily feel like I always need the buzz.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, I like that a lot of places are carrying the NA beers, at least here in Portland.
Yeah.
I've been pleasantly surprised when I go to a place. They don't just have one.
Right.
They have at least Athletic is very popular out here. They have a lot of, like most places have that. And there's another one. I can't remember.
Yeah. There are a few, and now there are a lot. There are more NA breweries that are popping up, which is cool.
Yeah.
You know? It's nice to have variety.
Yeah. Because especially in the summer, I always want to have a beer on the patio.
Yeah.
Or on the, go out and meet some friends somewhere outside. And
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take them to the beach, do whatever.
Yes.
And be able to get home from the beach.
So there you go. You can do that. Best Day Brewing.
Yeah.
So I got a drum set.
Oh, boy.
Yes. It was something that I had wanted for quite a while.
Where are you putting? Do you have it in the garage?
It's in the garage. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I play bass and some 6-string guitar, and not great, but enough to where I can play by ear. I hear something, I can play it. But drums are just this instrument that, I mean, yes, I know you hit the thing and it makes the noise, but being able to do more than that, actually, play a drum beat or understanding how they do what they do, drummers that are good at it, it's something that's never really clicked with me. And so that's
complicated.
It is. And so that is
like
compelling.
One hand doing one thing and the another hand doing another thing, and then this foot doing the bass drum and then getting the hi-hat. I was like,
totally.
That's a lot.
It is. And so I've been looking around and for quite a while, and I finally found Facebook Marketplace.
Ooh, this is a new place.
Yeah, so they have everything, and it's crazy. It's
they carry everything.
Yeah, it's like Craigslist except on Facebook, but
just as sketchy as Craigslist once was.
Yes,
or still is, I guess.
And so I found this. It was like a full drum set. It had a whole bunch of extras, all these great things, and it was exactly what I was looking for. So I reached out to the guy, and he's like, "Yeah, I still have it." And I'm like, "I want to come and get it. I'd like to get it now." Okay, yeah. And I got over there, and I mean, it had everything and all of this extra hardware. Two snares. He had an extra snare that was new. That was a custom one that he had custom made here in Portland, and the only thing it didn't have was hi-hat cymbals, which I can get. But I mean, it even has the hi-hat stand and all this, and there like a double kick pedals for the kick drum, which I will not be able to use for a long time. All this great stuff, sticks and everything, ton of different things, and so I went and got it. And I didn't take pictures of the drum set before I took it apart to put it in my car. So then I had to put it back together, not knowing what I was doing. And so thank you, YouTube, for coming through, because there were stands and I'm like, what goes on this?
What does this do?
Yeah. I'm like, okay, I know the bass. I know the big tom. I know that cymbals go somewhere, because it even came with cymbals. And I mean, that's where it gets pricey. So I got it back together. I don't think I have everything quite the way it's supposed to be.
Okay.
And so now I'm starting to read about, there are like 5 different ways to hold your drumsticks. I actually talked to somebody who plays drums yesterday, and he's like, just make it simple. Just hold it like this,
Okay. Whatever works for you.
Yeah. And so, we talked through that, and then we talked about like some of the just basic things that you should do, so it's like kick, snare.
Yeah.
Real simple
You gotta
stuff.
Start real simple.
But my son, my oldest, who just was walking in the parade, he plays sax. And so, they just finished that. Now to close out the year, they're doing this whole thing where they're going to the different elementary schools and they're playing for them.
Nice.
And one of the songs that they're doing is Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes.
Oh, okay.
The drums for that are relatively simple. It's really simple. It's a simple drum beat where it's like doom 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 doom, and I'm like, all right, I can do this. And so I go in and I start doing it, and it's like, all right, I got that. And then you've got to then it changes to where it's like kick drum snare, and if you listen to the song, you hear where it just kind of starts, he's singing through the verse, and then it kind of changes. And then when they get to the chorus, it's kick drum, snare, some cymbal. I'm not sure which one yet. It may even be the hi-hat that I don't have. And you've got to do these like 3 things at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out. So that's
you're at 2 things.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I can do that.
But I was saying it's like, yeah, you have to rub your tummy and pat your head
totally and
while you're jumping rope.
And it's such a it is, and it's such like it's complicated because I don't understand it.
Yeah, you just haven't done it.
But watching the guy that I watched yesterday, who he teaches my son, he gives him saxophone lessons, and so he has a whole setup, and he had his drums there, and he's like, you could start with this, or this, and watching how he did it, I'm like, oh, so you're not doing all of that at the exact same time. You're going back and forth. You're doing these things. Okay, so the code started to crack a little bit. I can see.
Yep.
Before I just couldn't understand it. Like I just didn't. I thought you're doing everything all at the same time.
Well,
and even some things that I think in my head I was making more complicated, that I was making them more complicated than they needed to.
Yeah, you just got to start training your brain to do the simple things, and then you can start doing them all
right
eventually at the same time.
I also found that you can't. Well, maybe some people can, but I don't think you're supposed to play barefoot. Which I started trying to do that. I guess you could, but it was very difficult.
Yeah, because it doesn't grip onto the pedal very well.
Yeah, so I'm practicing.
I didn't play drums, but I was in band, so
yeah. So they
control everything
for real. It's
when they get off, you're like, why did you slow down? Why are you slowing down? What's happening?
Yeah. So
I'm trying to,
I think it's also built. It's also kind of a workout. I mean,
I was going to say, did your foot
or
your leg cramp up or?
Yes, but I couldn't tell if that was because I was barefoot, like the muscle in my foot was getting tired, which I'm sure it's going to be a really sweaty affair. I know this.
Oh yeah.
So I'm preparing myself for that. I'm like, I'm going to have like a drumming hat or a headband or something like that. Have certain clothes that I know I can get out there in, be like my workout. I'm going to go out and play drums for 30 minutes, which is great. That's one of the reasons I wanted it, was to have something where I could just go and be like, okay.
And really annoy the neighbors. And
yeah. Luckily where our house is kind of it's in like the curve of the street. It's in a place where.
Well, and it's like your garage is mostly underground.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
And because you're like in a hill kind of.
Yeah, and you can still hear it from outside, but it's not so bad. So, I don't know. It's fun. I'm excited to have something like that to learn.
Yeah, nice.
And be able to play.
Yeah, I've wanted to take cello lessons and do that again, but yeah. I make excuses and finding the time and the money to do it. So
that's always the thing. It's always just so easy to be like, and I do it all the time with things, like trying to find the time just to take the time to do a thing when it's something that I like. Might be a hobby or something fun or something interesting. It's so easy to just not, and I do that all the time. And finally, it was like when I saw this, I felt like, okay.
Yeah, it was meant to be it.
Yeah, I need to just do it.
Because you said you got like a super good deal on it. So
yeah, and the guy who I bought it from was very tall, and I could tell that he was very experienced with drums.
He just had that look.
Yeah, and I think he just like he knew what he was doing, and I think he was a metal drummer. I think this drum kit was really set up for that kind of stuff. I'm eager to learn the double kicks and like how that works and everything. There, like a lot of the songs that I want to play are going to be, they're a little higher tempo. So yeah, I expect it to be, a learning experience, and like I said, very sweaty. So
nice.
Yep.
So pretty much anything this summer is going to be sweaty.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been real boring over here in Jody world. Been working a ton, and I did, but I'm feeling good because I paid off a really big bill.
Nice.
So it's paying off slowly, all this working I'm doing, but I'm just like, okay, I need to start pulling back a little bit because I was sick for a little bit and I still haven't kicked it completely. And I'm like, well, couldn't be that I'm, working every single day of the week and,
Right.
there's nothing to do with that. Barely time to do laundry, and
Yeah.
I get home and I'm just exhausted and I fall asleep right away and
Right.
whatever,
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, start maybe adjusting my other spending, because I was telling you before, I was like spending money like I actually have the money to spend, and
Sure.
it took me forever to save the money to pay this bill off, and
it's hard to make those changes. It's hard to kind of do that. But
well, it's like I'll have a good streak going, and then it'll be like just like working out or something. There'll be one thing that happens,
yeah,
and then I'll get out. I'll stop. I won't do it that day,
Right.
and then from then on, it's
Yeah.
like, well, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm like, what happened?
right.
What happened to you remember that plan we made? Remember that thing we were doing?
But you've got to feel good about, paying off that big of a bill. That's huge.
Yeah.
So
interest and stuff on a bill. Just,
always.
I'm like,
always.
Wow, that really added up quick.
Yeah. Yeah. It always does. But that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations.
So, that's what I've been working on.
Yeah.
Trying to pay off some debt.
Well, good.
But I would like to enjoy some of the summer. So I do have a couple of trips planned. Hang out with some friends and stuff. So,
awesome.
Put that money right back on those credit cards.
Right.
But that's what it's about.
If
I'm not, why am I working this hard if I can't go hang out with my friends and really have a good time and have experiences? So that's
exactly
what
that's
it's
what
about
life's
for me.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not just going to work to live, and I'd like to go do some things again. So
Right.
now I can.
Perfect. Well, good. Well,
Yeah.
Congratulations on paying that off.
Just keeping busy with bearskin stuff all the time and planning for some new things coming out. We got some fun designs that I'm super excited about, but probably won't be out till, later in the year.
Well, the thing you showed me is going to be really cool.
Yeah, I'm excited because all the insiders that I've been showing them to have been like, yeah, I love that. That's going to be cool. So just, working out some final details and
keep an eye out.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Perfect. Well, speaking of congratulations, our friend Jeff Jenkins, who had the Disney Plus show, Never Say Never, has been nominated for a Critics' Choice Award.
Lovely. Congrats.
Yes, that's awesome. Yeah, if you haven't seen the show, Never Say Never with Jeff Jenkins, that is
on Nat Geo,
Disney Plus, Hulu, maybe. Yeah,
I don't know, maybe Hulu. Yeah, probably, I think.
Probably, yeah. I feel like
I have the Disney Plus.
Yeah, I think it started on Nat Geo, maybe went to Hulu, and then went to Disney Plus. Either way, I know you can find it on Disney Plus.
It's out there.
Yeah, so check it out. Support seeing a big guy out there living his best life.
Yeah, doing the
coolest things. Yeah. So that's awesome.
Yeah. Speaking of doing things, he's out there doing all kinds of crazy stunts.
Yeah. Right. Talking about playing drums, or you're talking about paying off bills, and he's out there, I don't know, climbing glaciers or something.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had a sponsor, I'd do that too.
True. Good point.
If I had Nat Geo paying the bill, I'd be going doing that too.
True.
Come on, Nat Geo, pay me to do things. I'll do them.
Yes. Also,
I might take a little more coaxing to do the thing.
Oh man, it would be fun. I would I would love to do some of that stuff. I don't
know, love. Yes, I would, but it'd still be like, I'm scared out of my mind.
The rafting thing that he does in one of those episodes I really liked, and there's this part where they go down this waterfall that I loved, and I'm like, man, I want to do that.
Didn't they go into like before? I don't remember. Didn't they go into like some kind of cave or something too?
Yeah.
At that part, I was like, Yeah.
The cave thing.
No.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna be the fat guy stuck
in the. Yeah.
I'm like, no.
I mean, he stepped up and got through some hairy situations, and I mean, it just shows you that you can do that stuff. That you
can.
You can overcome fear and whatever else to go out there and do your thing. So congratulations, Jeff. It's awesome.
Congrats on your nomination.
Let's see. Also, Nakia from, well, he was on The Voice.
Oh, I don't know.
He is a wonderful musician out of Austin, Texas, I believe. Does some great stuff. He has a new song coming out. It's called Signal. And by the time you hear this episode, it will be out May 21st. You can go to your favorite streaming platform and take a listen. And he also had a video, which I didn't know about, and I just watched this afternoon. A video for a song of his called Thrill-O-Matic. I actually love the song, and the video is amazing. Basically, the idea of the whole thing is like he's asleep on his couch, and he seems to like his TV's on, you know, and there's like infomercials and all the crazy stuff you see late at night on TV, commercials, ads, all that.
Yeah.
And he's dreaming, and he kind of gets pulled into the TV and into these commercials. And so there's like the commercial where he's doing like I don't know.
The Thigh Master?
Yeah, the Thigh Master. Yes, the Thigh Master.
Come on, like, how do you not know that?
Yeah, I know. There's like, well, you know, these thighs, they don't know the Thigh Master. So there's like the Thigh Master commercial. There's one where he's selling knives and actually using them to chop stuff up. There's a whole bunch of different things within it. It's really funny. It's a really great video.
Jazzercising.
Yes.
Thigh Master.
Yeah, and you should definitely check it out. He has definitely had I think, really cool career since, you know, the time that he was on TV and did all that. Since then, like post all of that, his career has been really interesting to follow and just kind of see where he's gone and the things that he's done. And so you can check him out. You can go to nakia.net, nakia.net, and you can check it out and see what it's all about. Hear the new song. He is also on Instagram, Nakia. So, yeah, do it.
Can see the other videos, the Thrill-O-Matic.
Yeah. Go and check him out. He's a good guy.
All right.
So, I think that
good times
is everything that I've got for this week.
Yeah, like I said, I don't have much.
I'm ready to enjoy the rest of this beer.
Oh, yes, I'm definitely going to do that.
Yeah. So thanks to Best Day Brewing for the beer.
Might have to do something to get some more of these.
Yeah, really. I mean, I guess we could go out and buy some, but I mean, it's nice to have a beer to feature. I know that we've got something else coming up next week that'll be good. That's that I'm excited for. But yeah, I feel like this would be in my regular rotation.
Yeah, especially
now, since this is kind of, you know, it's closer to what I'm feeling every day, is having a beer that's not gonna just tear me up.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I mean, on the can it even says, I'm not gonna read all of these. But
I know. At first I saw it and I was like, no, I'm not gonna read all that.
Brewed for doers, surfers, climbers, early risers, free divers, chefs, gardeners, dancers, oyster farmers, dreamers, painters, builders, mothers, fathers, runners. Yeah, there's a whole. I mean, it keeps going. I'll save you from the rest, but yeah, there's
everybody's on there.
Yes, so that's right.
Even those oyster farmers.
So, well, there we go.
All right. Well, thanks, Bruce.
Thanks, Jody.
Until next time,
enjoy your beer.
Oh, I'm going to. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Heavy Conversation. Be sure to like and subscribe on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts.